The sudden disappearance of a seemingly innocent video featuring BTS members Jimin and Jungkook in Switzerland has ignited an unexpected storm of speculation, raising urgent questions that no one can yet answer with certainty. Why was a harmless clip, recorded by an unsuspecting traveler, swiftly removed after spreading across social media? What hidden factors could lead to the removal of such an ordinary yet emotionally charged scene? The incident has triggered an intense wave of curiosity, leaving millions of fans and observers grasping for clues as theories multiply in real time. The video at the center of this controversy was first shared by an Indonesian tourist who claimed to have encountered Jimin and Jungkook, popularly known as jikook, when mentioned together, while she waited to board a cruise in Switzerland. Her recording, captured casually and without any intention of causing a global reaction, initially seemed like nothing more than a rare glimpse of two global superstars enjoying a quiet moment away from the stage. Yet within hours of its release, the footage began to vanish from key platforms, either deleted entirely or replaced with versions stripped of key details. The speed and precision of this removal effort only deepened public intrigue. Why would a peaceful video of two artists sitting side by a serene Swiss lake become the subject of such aggressive takedowns? According to the tourist's own account, shared before her original post was modified, the encounter was entirely coincidental. She described noticing a solitary figure waiting quietly on a bench, later realizing that it was Jimin, recently discharged from his military service. In her words, he appeared calm and youthful, radiating a quiet tenderness that caught her attention. Moments later, Jungkook approached carrying food, casually joining Jimin as though they had arranged nothing more than an ordinary meeting between friends. The video captured this understated yet intimate interaction, portraying the pair with a natural ease that stood in striking contrast to the highly choreographed images fans are accustomed to seeing. There were no stylized performances, no official cameras, only two young men sharing a simple moment during a private trip. What makes the controversy even more perplexing is the alteration of the video itself. The original clip reportedly included brief subtitles and a short caption explaining the circumstances of the sighting, details that provided context and conveyed the sweetness of the interaction. Yet the widely circulated version was abruptly replaced with one bearing a large watermark and no explanatory text, erasing the very elements that highlighted the scene's warmth. Viewers familiar with the first upload immediately noticed the difference, sparking a flood of questions. Was the explanation removed to protect privacy? Was it a fan's decision, a platform's policy, or the result of quiet pressure from unidentified parties? No definitive answer has surfaced, and every theory only sharpens the mystery. Compounding the intrigue is the timing of this incident. Both Jimin and Jungkook are currently navigating a delicate period of transition, recently discharged from mandatory military service and gradually re-emerging into the public eye. Fans have been eagerly awaiting the release of Jimin's travel program Are You Sure?, a project rumored to feature destinations such as New York and, crucially, Switzerland. Could the leaked video be linked to unreleased footage from the show? If the Swiss meeting was indeed part of a yet-to-be-aired episode, the removal of the clip might signal a behind-the-scenes effort to prevent premature spoilers. But if that is the case, why allow the altered version to remain online at all? The incomplete removal strategy only heightens suspicion that more is happening beneath the surface. Further complicating the narrative are small but revealing details that continue to emerge from unrelated sources. A soldier who served alongside both artists recently shared an Instagram story featuring tiny tan lip balms inspired by Jimin and Jungkook, accompanied by a playful caption expressing surprise at their ever-expanding influence. Though seemingly unrelated, the post underscores the continued public fascination with the duo's personal dynamic, an interest that may explain why even a fleeting, private interaction in Switzerland could generate such fervor. The combination of quiet intimacy and global attention creates a volatile mix, where even the most innocent gesture can acquire layers of unintended meaning. The incident also intersects with broader speculation about BTS's future promotional schedule. Industry watchers have long predicted that Jimin's Are You Sure program would air before the end of the year, partly to avoid overlapping with BTS's anticipated group comeback. If the Swiss footage is indeed part of this project, its premature leak could disrupt carefully planned marketing strategies, giving producers a clear motive to suppress unauthorized content. Fans have already noted that the group's management is known for meticulously controlling the release of media materials to preserve narrative impact. Yet this explanation raises its own set of questions. If the goal is to prevent leaks, why has no formal request or warning been issued to clarify the situation? The silence from all parties involved is as striking as the video's disappearance itself. Beyond corporate strategy, there is also the persistent undercurrent of personal speculation. For years, the relationship between Jimin and Jungkook has fueled endless debate among fans, some of whom interpret their close friendship as evidence of something deeper. The Swiss video, with its quiet companionship and understated gestures, inevitably reignited these conversations. Could the removal of the clip reflect an attempt to avoid feeding romantic rumors? Or does the very act of deletion inadvertently confirm the significance of what was captured? Each possibility carries its own implications, none of them easily dismissed. Meanwhile, the fan community remains on high alert. Online forums, social media feeds, and dedicated fan accounts continue to dissect every fragment of information, from the faint background sounds in the video to the exact location of the cruise ship where the encounter took place. Some users claim to have saved copies of the original upload, while others insist that even those versions have begun to disappear. The result is a tense, almost forensic search for truth, where every pixel and subtitle becomes potential evidence in an unfolding puzzle. This collective investigation reflects not only the dedication of BTS fans, but also the broader cultural impact of a group whose private moments can command worldwide attention. It is important to note that, despite the whirlwind of theories, no official explanation has been provided. Neither the artists nor their representatives have addressed the removal directly, leaving the public to navigate a maze of conjecture without guidance. This absence of clarity transforms a simple video into a symbol of the complex relationship between global celebrities and their audiences. In an era where every public appearance is scrutinized and every private moment risks becoming viral content, the boundaries between personal privacy and public fascination grow ever more fragile. The disappearance of the Swiss video may ultimately prove to be a calculated act of content management, an overzealous fan's decision, or something far more unexpected. For now, the truth remains elusive, hidden behind layers of digital edits, silent platforms, and unanswered questions. What began as a casual recording by a tourist has evolved into a cultural flashpoint, challenging our assumptions about access, privacy, and the delicate balance between admiration and intrusion. As fans continue to search for missing footage and hidden clues, one fact is undeniable: a single vanished video has succeeded in capturing the world's attention, reminding us that in the realm of global fame, even the quietest moments can spark the loudest controversies. The unexplained removal of the Jikook Switzerland video continues to provoke tension, as new fragments of information only deepen the mystery instead of clarifying it. What initially appeared to be a harmless clip of Jimin quietly waiting by a lakeside bench, later joined by Jungkook carrying food, has now become a focal point for speculation about privacy, strategy, and hidden meaning. The tourist who filmed the moment described it as entirely accidental, emphasizing that she only realized who they were after casually recording the scene. Yet the original upload, which included a short caption explaining the encounter and subtle subtitles that highlighted the tenderness of their interaction, has been replaced almost everywhere with a heavily watermarked version stripped of its most revealing details. Fans are now questioning whether the sudden edits are connected to Jimin's anticipated travel program Are You Sure?, a show rumored to feature Switzerland as one of its destinations. If the meeting captured on camera is part of unreleased footage, The decision to remove or alter the video could reflect an effort to prevent spoilers and protect marketing plans. Others suspect a more personal motive, suggesting that management may be attempting to avoid fueling romantic rumors about the pair, whose friendship has long been the subject of intense public fascination. Despite the countless theories, no formal explanation has emerged from any party, leaving the community to piece together meaning from screenshots, saved copies, and disappearing posts. The silence itself feels calculated, amplifying the sense that something significant lies behind the deletions. The escalating debate surrounding the disappearance of the Jikook Switzerland video demands a level of scrutiny that goes far beyond ordinary celebrity news. What exactly do we know, and how much of what we believe to be facts are merely fragments of unverified claims circulating on platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and other media channels? Can any single observer assert with certainty that the incident unfolded exactly as described? Or are we, as an audience, willingly participating in a narrative that may have been shaped, edited, or even fabricated to capture attention? These questions are neither rhetorical flourishes nor idle provocations. They are necessary starting points for anyone seeking to navigate an environment where viral content can blur the line between reality and deliberate manipulation. The account that sparked this global conversation originated from a single tourist's casual recording. A video said to depict Jimin seated alone near a Swiss pier before Jungkook arrived carrying food and joining him on a quiet bench. Yet how much of this description rests on verifiable evidence? If the original clip has been altered, watermarked, and partially erased, what guarantee remains that the surviving versions accurately reflect the scene as it occurred? Could the subtitles and contextual captions, reportedly present in the first upload but missing in subsequent versions, have been selectively removed not merely to protect privacy, but also to reshape the emotional impact of the footage? And if so, who would benefit from such an intervention? These questions press against the limits of what the public can ever truly confirm. Consider, too, the possibility of intentional misdirection. If the video is indeed linked to Jimin's much-anticipated travel program, are you sure, as some fans insist, could its sudden removal serve as a calculated marketing strategy rather than a defensive reaction? Might the quiet setting, a lake, a cruise ship, a seemingly spontaneous meeting, have been deliberately chosen to project authenticity, while in fact operating as a carefully staged promotional teaser? If that is the case, are viewers complicit in a larger cycle where every emotional response, every speculation about hidden relationships, and every frantic repost fuels precisely the kind of engagement that entertainment companies seek to cultivate? Or, conversely, is it possible that no such strategy exists and that the entire uproar is the unintended consequence of a single tourist's innocent post meeting the uncontrollable force of BTS's global fanbase? The ambiguity extends beyond motives to the very mechanics of digital circulation. Videos can be duplicated, cropped, slowed, and re-uploaded in seconds, yet each alteration creates new layers of uncertainty. Can any viewer distinguish between the original and a cleverly edited copy once the primary source has disappeared? When a clip spreads across multiple platforms, each with its own algorithms, reporting tools, and regional policies, who can credibly claim to have seen the real version? And if no one can, how does one even begin to separate fact from fabrication? In a media landscape where virality often outruns verification, the absence of certainty becomes not just an inconvenience, but a defining feature of the story itself. The emotional charge surrounding Jimin and Jungkook only intensifies these dilemmas. Their global fame ensures that even the most mundane interactions are imbued with heightened meaning, whether romantic, strategic, or symbolic. But does our collective fascination make us vulnerable to manipulation? Are we projecting personal hopes and fantasies onto a scene that, if stripped of celebrity, might be nothing more than two acquaintances sharing food on a quiet afternoon? Conversely, Is it naive to dismiss the possibility that such a seemingly ordinary moment could carry genuine significance precisely because it is unscripted? Each interpretation feeds the controversy, yet none can be conclusively proven. This uncertainty invites a deeper reflection on our own habits as consumers of digital information. Do we click, share, and comment because we seek truth, or because we crave the thrill of participation in a global spectacle? How many of us pause to question the origin of the video before forming opinions about its meaning? How many verified whether the tourist statements were corroborated by independent witnesses? And if we fail to take those steps, what does that reveal about our willingness to accept emotional impact as a substitute for factual accuracy? These questions are uncomfortable precisely because they implicate not only the media but also every individual who contributes to the rapid spread of unverified content. IT is equally necessary to confront the possibility of deliberate sensationalism. Could the entire narrative, tourist encounter, military references, program rumors, sudden deletions, be part of a carefully constructed hoax designed to exploit the intense loyalty of BTS fans and the insatiable appetite of global entertainment media? If that hypothesis seems extreme, consider how often viral phenomena have later been exposed as orchestrated stunts. Would the emotional investment of millions of viewers not make such a strategy particularly effective? And if it were true, would those who participated in spreading the story feel betrayed? Or would they accept the manipulation as an inevitable feature of modern fandom? The sources fueling this debate only heighten the need for caution. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and similar platforms are notorious for rewarding speed and engagement over accuracy. Videos can gain millions of views before any form of fact-checking occurs. In such an environment, how can anyone distinguish between organic discovery and coordinated amplification? Are trending hashtags and rapid reposts indicators of authenticity, or are they signals of a narrative carefully engineered to dominate attention? The mere presence of a video on multiple platforms does not constitute proof. Rather, it underscores the velocity with which unverified claims can achieve the appearance of truth. Faced with these uncertainties, a responsible reader must adopt a posture of skepticism. Every fragment of this story, from the sighting itself to the rumored travel program, from the soldier's playful Instagram story to the abrupt disappearance of subtitles, requires verification that may never arrive. Should we, therefore, refrain from forming any conclusion at all? Or is it possible to acknowledge the emotional resonance of the video while simultaneously rejecting the urge to treat it as definitive evidence of anything beyond its own existence? The tension between emotional engagement and critical distance lies at the heart of this controversy, and each reader must decide where to draw that line. Ultimately, the Jikook Switzerland episode serves as more than a fleeting entertainment headline. It is a case study in the dynamics of contemporary media consumption. It challenges us to examine how quickly we embrace narratives that flatter our expectations, how eagerly we interpret ambiguous images to support preferred theories, and how rarely we pause to question the reliability of what we see. Are we willing to accept that some mysteries remain unsolved, or will the absence of certainty drive us toward increasingly speculative conclusions? Will we learn to demand evidence, or will the comfort of collective excitement outweigh the discomfort of critical thought? As you reflect on this unfolding drama, ask yourself, do you truly believe that the deleted video represents an authentic, unscripted encounter between Jimin and Jungkook, or could it be a carefully orchestrated piece of media designed to capture your attention? Do you trust the sources from which you first heard the story, or do you recognize how easily those sources can be manipulated? Above all, are you prepared to question not only the information presented, but also your own response to it? The answers to these questions will determine whether you remain a passive participant in a spectacle or become an active, critical observer in a world where the boundary between fact and fabrication grows thinner with every viral post. The unresolved tension surrounding the missing Jikook Switzerland video now stands as a striking example of how modern audiences consume, interpret, and react to information that remains fundamentally unverified. Every repost, every cropped screenshot, and every speculative comment only deepens a narrative whose foundation is still uncertain. Do we, as readers, genuinely know whether this footage depicted a spontaneous meeting, a controlled leak, or an intentional fabrication meant to provoke exactly this level of global discussion? If the origin of the clip cannot be confirmed and the context of its removal remains unexplained, what justifies the confidence with which so many conclusions are already being circulated? Such questions demand more than casual curiosity. They require a disciplined skepticism that resists the emotional pull of celebrity culture. Can any platform, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, be treated as a trustworthy witness when algorithms prioritize virality over verification? When an image can be replicated and altered in seconds, is the concept of an original video even meaningful? Or have we entered an era where every digital artifact exists only as a shifting collage of edits, rumors, and reactions, making the pursuit of absolute truth nearly impossible? Readers must now confront their own role in sustaining this cycle. By clicking, sharing, and speculating, are we helping to expose hidden truths, or simply rewarding those who exploit our fascination for attention and profit? The deeper one looks into the Jikook Switzerland controversy, the clearer it becomes that the missing video is not merely a story about two world-famous idols. It is also a mirror reflecting the mechanisms of a hyper-connected age. The clip's disappearance exposes how fragile the concept of evidence has become in the digital era, where a single upload can ripple across continents before anyone verifies its authenticity. Each repost or edit introduces subtle distortions, until what circulates globally may resemble the truth only in outline. Viewers, hungry for connection and meaning, often fill in the gaps with their own desires, turning ambiguity into certainty and coincidence into conspiracy. In this way, the incident reveals as much about the psychology of fandom as it does about the artists at its center point. One cannot ignore the economic forces at play. BTS is not only a musical act, but also a multi-billion-dollar global brand, and every unsanctioned leak threatens carefully timed promotional strategies. Entertainment companies, aware of the viral potential of even the most trivial moments, have become adept at leveraging both scarcity and speculation. A vanished video can generate more buzz than a planned teaser, keeping fans engaged while revealing nothing concrete. Whether the takedown of the Switzerland clip was an act of damage control or a deliberate marketing maneuver, the outcome is the same: heightened attention and endless debate. Fans, caught between affection and analysis, become unpaid amplifiers of the very mystery that frustrates them. This dynamic raises uncomfortable ethical questions. Where should the boundary between public curiosity and personal privacy be drawn when celebrities live under constant surveillance by strangers with smartphones? Is it fair to demand transparency from artists who may simply wish to share a meal without the weight of global scrutiny? The Swiss encounter, if genuine, may have been nothing more than two friends enjoying a quiet afternoon, yet the world's reaction transformed it into a spectacle. In this sense, the real story may not be about what the video showed, but about our collective inability to let ordinary moments remain ordinary. Until verifiable evidence emerges, the Switzerland video remains an enigma suspended between rumor and reality. Perhaps it will eventually resurface in an official release, confirming a connection to Jimin's travel program or proving that the meeting was entirely personal. Perhaps it will fade into digital oblivion, leaving only speculation in its wake. Either outcome underscores the same truth. In an era when attention is currency, uncertainty is not a flaw but a feature. The missing clip's greatest power lies not in what it reveals, but in how it compels millions to watch, question, and, knowingly or not, participate in the endless cycle of fascination that defines contemporary celebrity culture.